Welcome to this video by group number 4 on the subject Materials Evaluation and Resources for Teaching English as a Second Language, conducted by Professor Giovanni Peña in the Master's Degree Applied Linguistics at Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo. This presentation will be carried out by the Humanists, composed by Nicauri Francisco, speaking, Danielis Garcia, Ilian Quesada, Rafael Marmolejos, and Jovelkis Paulino. This time we are going to share with you a research article with the topic Blogging as an Instructional Tool in ESL Classroom. Theories on emerging technologies have stated that using blogs in the classroom can engage students in discussion, support peer learning, and improve the literacy skills of English as a second language. Research has pointed to many ways that blogging is beneficial to students' learning when used as an instructional tool. The researchers conducted a project to investigate the use of blogs in the ESL's instruction. The research questions in this investigation were how blogs are being used in the ESL classroom and what are the instructional implications of using blogs in the ESL curriculum. Throughout this video, we will provide a review on the methodology used in the investigation. Also, the results and discussion of this research will be shared.
I'm Danielis Garcia, and now I'm going to share the methodology used in this study. Graduate education students are a small private university in the northeastern part of the United States were invited to complete a survey about blogging in the ESL classroom. They were asked to provide self-reported perceptions of blogging as a tool to use in the instruction of English language learners. There was a 60% participation rate. 20 of the 33 students who received an invitation to participate completed the survey. Participants' ages range from 23 to 45. After their observations and interviews, these students completed a questionnaire in which they reported, summarized, and reflected on the use of blogs in an ESL curriculum and instructional implications. The questionnaire invited participants to list blog activities that they hope to use with students in the future. In an open-ended question, participants were asked, based on their blogging experience as a student and/or as a teacher, to make suggestions that might optimize the use of blogs as instructional tools. After completing the field experience, participants were asked to share their observations regarding challenges of using blogs in classroom instructions.
Discussion. Participants provided overwhelmingly positive responses to the use of blogging as an instructional tool based on their use of blog as graduate students and their observation of blogging used in the ESL classroom during their required field experience sections. At the same time, participants recognized that there are many challenges to use blogs with English language learners as a part of classroom instruction. Despite these challenges, the graduate students had many ideas for how to optimize the use of blogs as an instructional tool and reported a desire to use blogs for many learning projects in their future teaching. When providing ideas for how to optimize the use of blogs, over half of the participants recommended that the instructors spend adequate time explaining blogs and how they work and explaining the rules and expectations for how blogs will be used. These suggestions were made based on observations and participation in blogging activities that were successful and unsuccessful. Not everyone is familiar with blogging, and even those who have read blogs before or who have contributed to blogs in the past may not be aware of appropriate blog use in an educational setting. If instructors want blogging to be a worthwhile learning activity, they must specifically address the goals of the blogging project, and they must spell out rules and expectations so that students can participate with a true understanding of what they should do in order to be successful. Regular dialogue via blogs also will allow students for discussions to be deepened. Blog discussions will further students' learning when topics are interesting and engaging. It is crucial that teachers monitor students' actions on blog to guide students to participate and interact in ways that are respectful of all learners and that lead to heightened learning experiences. The reality is that there are many challenges to use blogs in the classroom. In this research study, participants identified challenges and noted that these challenges must be considered and acknowledged when planning to use blogging for instructional purposes. The required field experience that graduate students at this university complete allows them to see what educators are doing in the classroom and to discuss the instructional decisions that experienced ESL teachers are making as they deliver daily instructions to students. This first-hand observation and these conversations with teachers prepare them by exposing them to the types of situations that they will likely encounter in the future ESL teaching positions.
This is Rafael Marmolejo speaking. In addition to what has been said about blogging as an instructional tool in the ESL classroom, it is a pedagogical option that deserves attention, as its inclusion as a learning activity could indeed be an ideal avenue to facilitate student learning. The opportunity to use blogs for peer editing and for free writes could advance students' writing skills, as students are motivated to write for an authentic audience of readers. Culture and ideas can be exchanged via key pals projects, while remediation can happen via tutoring on blogs. Very practical ideas were suggested, including using blogs in order to post missing work for students who are absent, and using blogs as a platform for students to get to know each other. The graduate students who participated in this research study clearly see blogs as tools to accomplish various instructional goals, and they have formulated ideas for classroom blog use that will guide them in their future instructional planning. However, as with anything in this world, there are always some obstacles to overcome and misuse to avoid, such as limited access to computers, blocked websites, students intimidated by technology, and inefficient time management.
To conclude, we can say that this study found that all participants has blood as part of their coursework, and multiple of them name clear criteria as essential to successful instructional blogging. Participants provide overwhelmingly positive responses to the use of blogging as an instructional tool based on their use of blogs as graduate students and their observation of blogging use in the ESL classroom during the required field experience sessions. These graduate students who participate in this study share many ideas that they have about if blogging can be used in their future teaching of ESL. Use blogs in the classroom can engage students in discussions, support peer learning, and improve the literacy skills of English as a second language students. To optimize the use of blogs, we recommend the instructors to spend adequate time explaining blogs and how they work, the rules and expectations for how blogs will be used in the class. The contribution of this study is great. The presentation, analysis, and discussions of the data collected may serve as a guide for teachers considering whether to implement blogs as an instructional tool in the ESL classroom. Also, we recommend to teachers to test the multiple challenges that exist when planning and implementing blogging in educational setting. Thanks a lot.